Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend. January 30th, 2023, Monday. We're going to look at some technical analysis, look at the SPY, look at the futures. I have some futures trades open right now. And options on GME, on BBBY, shares. Got about 70K I put in GME last week. What is the plan? What am I thinking? Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Follow us on Twitter at HappyMoneyYT, as well as our Discord server, link for those in the description. It's all free to join and participate. Market is coming down today, so this is really nice. We opened a short on the micro ES yesterday at the high at 408. We did it. I said it for days. I was gonna open at 408, that high. Started one here, and then got stopped out. And I'm like, all right, if it breaks here, it's going to 408. It did it. Actually, I'm not sure if that, I think it was back here. Yeah, I did this one right here. Anyways, I saw 408 and pretty clear previous resistance. So like I need to open a short up there. And hopefully it's the beginning of a long downtrend for that short. Maybe new lows, but definitely some choppiness before there and maybe new highs before there too. So I would get stopped out then. A lot of big earnings this week. FOMC, Powell, all that, jobs data, huge earnings week, honestly. So could go anywhere, but yeah, Friday of last week, hit that resistance and a good time to enter a short. This isn't quite an engulfing candle, but big red candle to close, and then a gap down here. And the market's been just pretty much weak, trading in a range all day today. Had a little bounce this morning, filling some gap. So here's pre-market. Bounced, filled a little bit of a gap, and then it just made new lows, lower highs. Kind of held that support for a while, making lower highs, and finally flushed through it. And now we're starting to come down. It's about 45 minutes to close. Market's been pretty slow today, but we have had runners. Genus ripped up pre-market on news of them doing a spin-off. This is one of the 10 steps to rid your stock of illegal naked short selling. This was step 5 or something, I don't know. But yeah, so they had news of doing a spin-off, and that caused this thing to rip. It's still up, holding up pretty well, 35%. Help is another one that sometimes has had sympathy because they've said they're also going to attack the illegal short selling. It gapped up pre-market, but it's still down 11.5%. So yeah, it moves in sympathy sometimes. Carvana is on a big move up, so it's a weak market, but we still have some of these squeezy ones from last week still going. BBBY moved up today. SoFi, they had good earnings, and then BBBY with a rip today. Did it gap up? I can't remember. No, it just ripped. Yeah, with this morning rally on SPY, just this little rally, BBBY just went crazy and consolidated up at the high here. So it looks nice. It's up 11%. Looks like it'll maybe make its move back up into this range, in that 3 range. We'll just have to see. I mean, it's very news dependent right now. I could jump around at any moment. Wednesday for BBY is the first day of, or their deadline, I believe, for interest on their debt. So not sure if that will send the stock up, down, or just sideways, but that is a catalyst that could cause some volatility any direction. I am out of that still at this point, so I'm just waiting from the sidelines on BBBY. GME went pretty long last week, if you recall. Put about 70K in shares right about here and here, and got calls. Those calls I wasn't able to close, even though they're up 300%. I was going to close most of them Friday, and then I saw that, and I'm like, oh, I'll just hold. So I actually closed those calls this morning, 140% or something like that. So still a good profitable time. I closed them here. I closed them actually on this bad red candle. I could have gotten another 100% on them just from this move to this move. The spreads were wide this morning, just like every morning, and I closed with them like the first 5 minutes. It was just I was a little nervous because it was a pretty large amount I had in calls, and they were just weeklies. And you know, we've seen GME make a big move down in the first 10, 20, 30 minutes with no relief bounces really. So in case that happened, I closed out. was still profitable. Happy to take my gains. So I'll close out of those. Still have the shares. Actually opened up covered calls somewhere around here on all my shares, and then closed some of them actually like here. I was thinking GME might have another move like yesterday or like Friday. Close them actually here. It was coming around 12:20, which is when we started ripping on Friday. Volume picked up a little bit. We started to get green. It was inversing SPY. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna close some of these. So I closed my cover calls. They were up 30% maybe. They were just weeklies, 25 strike, and I couldn't close all of them because this TD account I can't day trade still because it's too low on account value. So I'll close these tomorrow, but these are up 46% basically. These are 25 strike for tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll see. I might, if we don't start to rally, I might close back out of shares. I don't know which or how many yet. The ones on my long term are actually in, some of them are in margin, so I at least want to reduce the margin exposure. These ones in here, 1900 I open up in here I think, and let's see how many are in there actually. Yeah, 1900. So probably close those out unless tomorrow we start to rally, and I do think we could still get a move from this. We still could get another cycle pinch type deal. And tomorrow to me will be a pretty determining factor for that. Or this is just GME just moving different now, not having big cycles and pinches, and we'll just trade more like a natural stock, which is kind of what it's been doing, it seems like, ever since the split. So in that case, we can just treat it like a normal stock and never be scared of missing on an upside, and do covered calls and cash secured puts, and no big deal. But yeah, if we don't get a move, I think pretty soon here, I would say that that's a probability. Definitely pretty high probability. So tomorrow I will see. Might be closing shares tomorrow. Trying to hold them long enough in the morning to make sure not missing anything. But or I might just do cover calls on all of them, or close some, do cover calls on other ones. Just depends on how much exposure I can have. Because I think if we do kind of start to reject the range we're in. Oh, I actually drew the fibs here. So today was basically a 50% retrace of our move from down here from 1942 to 2348. So 50% retrace. So we could make a move back up to the high here. The next level up on the fibs is 25.99, which is basically the equilibrium of where we were trading for those months and months, like right here. So we might be on a move just back up to there, which wouldn't be a big pinch or anything, but just kind of a move back to the equilibrium. Buy's kind of flushing here. If not though, and if it's repeating historical patterns, then I think GME will probably retest down here, at least 17 or 15, or even like maybe even like 10. I see that potentially happening, especially if the SPY is gonna flush and tank. We'll see how on a FOMC how that goes on Wednesday. But yeah, I'm giving GME a little more time this week before I reduce exposure to the upside. It's just, yeah, it's due for a rally, but doesn't mean it's gonna happen. What we saw on Friday was good. Everything was good. Price action was a little bit concerning, and that's why I was a little hesitant to even hold the calls, but then I end up having to hold them. But I was ready to get out of them today because of just how just subdued this rally was. It wasn't what didn't look like covering or anything like that. It just looked like them letting it run up, very controlled, which we had on Friday the other day, or Monday, whatever. Yeah, Monday. So nothing out of control yet, and maybe because the price is lower, maybe because there's not any obligations left. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's kind of my plan with that. And options today. So here they are. Here's the ones that I did. So sold those calls. I had 21 calls for this week. Sold the cover call on SoFi. I have 100 shares, so sold a $7 cover call. Here's some cover calls I sold on GME, 25 strike, and then I actually closed them back out. So I still have these puts on GME. It's possible GME is just in like consolidation range before another leg down, a new test. You know, like I was saying, like maybe we're in this range right here. We're gonna make a new low, which would be 12 or 10. Or we're on this this longer term grind up. That was something I looked at today, which maybe the bullish case would be this action from here to here was like our first, was that March? No, May to June. We might be like right here. So the grind up, the bounce up, and then some consolidation, but really just on an uptrend into a pinch before earnings. Our earnings is going to be probably in March sometime. And so basically just over a month. So maybe we're in a longer term, one of these longer rallies. I don't know, but we are so due. And yeah, I just want to make sure I'm positioned right for it. Really would like not to be stuck in covered calls when it happens, or at least have shares, not be out on shares. But at the same time, I can't be doing too crazy stuff with margin, because if we do come down and make new lows, I won't be able to hold that on margin, or potentially even the shares. I need to be making money with this capital. So yeah, cash secured puts, covered calls are good. I was going long on shares for rally because you get a lot more profit from that than cash secured puts, but it's going to just consolidate and maybe come down. Covered calls or cash secured puts will definitely be better than just sitting on shares. Even long puts have done really well in GME for me, close to the money. I mean, this thing is downtrending, at least it has been historically, 80% of the time, and only uptrends like 20%. Because uptrends are huge, downtrends are just long and slower. But puts, they earn the money and go in the money just deeper, they do well. You don't need tons of velocity for those to work. IV was another thing I was looking at for GME, and I was looking at it last week on Thursday, and I'm like, dude, the IV's low. It was like 87% or something on the weekly calls at the money. And that was one of the triggers I was kind of waiting for, to buy calls and buy shares. And then sure enough, on Friday we rallied. So that might be another tell for me again. I'm not sure. I wanted that to be a tell, but then I was also bearish, but then it literally came to fruition. Like, right, remember that 80% near the money, like at the money for the weeklies, we ripped. So it's come up a little bit now, 110% or so. So it could still go from here. Like, it doesn't need to come down that much, because 110 is still relatively low for GME. So yeah, that's that. And then the futures, again, my short, I've got a nat gas long here. That's this one. I've got 3 of those. I need to go short on that gas. The thing just dumps all the time. It's like, just keeps dumping. Here's the 7 micro ES shorts. So those are up nicely. And I want to just hold them. I want to hold and hold. There's no theta decay or anything like that. So it's dollar for dollar. It's like shorting shares, and I got a 408 entry on the short. So might as well hold it, I feel like, now. Yeah, this chart is looking pretty bearish, especially this coming into close is crazy. 30 minutes to go and just keeps making new lows. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. We'll see you on Discord. Peace out.